everyone, this is session 2, and in this session we are going to continue the programming of the shop project that we were doing in the last session, and we are going to continue from where we left off. This is Reza.
Hello everybody. Thanks for watching us.
Yeah. He's my friend, and we are pair programming in this series, and to show the not even the program itself, the language itself, the techniques and the concepts around programming. And we are going to learn all these things in a real world project.
Right.
So this project that we are working on is named, we have titled it Shop Project. This program will be used by a person who has a small shop, and he has some products in his shop, and in his daily work he has a lot of customers come and go, and he creates a shopping cart for each and every of his customers, and he wants to keep the track of his inventory and how much he has, for example, sold on daily basis. So let's continue the project. We have not written so much so far. So far we have learned that in the Kotlin programming language, the entry point of an application is the main function. This is the main function. We define a function by the fun keyword and the name of the function. So we have defined a value named type value. A value cannot be changed after it has been assigned. So we have called readLine. The readLine function stops the program and prompts the user to enter some string, and it returns it, and it then assigns it to the type value, and then we have printed. So let's run the program and continue. So it stops here and it asks us to enter something. For example, I enter my name, and it assigns it to the type value, and it immediately prints the type value. So let's assume that when the user starts the program, he will enter the shop name. He will enter his shop name. So we should ask the user to enter his shop name, and then we will wait for user entry with the readLine function. So but we have not assigned it to any variable or value here, and if we don't assign it to some variable or value, the value will be lost, will be gone. So
but the user can enter something.
Yes, he will enter something, and the readLine will return the entered value, but the returned value,
that's not in no place.
Yeah, the return value won't be saved.
That's lost.
That will be lost. Yeah. So in order to save the return value, we define a value named shop name, and we assign to readLine, and then let's print the value that user has entered as the shop name. The shop name is, for example, plus. We are constructing in a string. Part of it is constant, part of it is dynamic. We are concatenating. Exactly. So if we run the application, I should get rid of these lines. I forgot every day. So it asks us, please enter your shop name. And we say, for example, grocery shop. It prints that the shop name is grocery. So we continue, and after asking the user for his or her shop name, we want to ask for the products. We won't ask, yes, we won't ask him to create a bunch of products. So each product in the program will be composed of a title, a price per unit, and we could go ahead and ask for the
That's enough, huh?
count. No, we could ask for the inventory item count. For example, how many you are defining Apple as a product, as a product in your inventory, and you want to tell the program that how many apples are there in your inventory, so to keep track and be alarmed if you are going to be in a shortage of apples. So let's ask the user to print ln. We remove this line and we again ask the user enter product name, and again we product name, and again we ask the user, prompt the user to enter some value, and we save it to the product name, and immediately right after it we ask for the product price, the price. And again I just copied the line and I renamed the value product price.
Could you please tell the shortcut key of copying?
Copying is done by Control C, and the paste is Control V.
But you didn't select the line.
Yes. I select a part of code, and by pressing Control
I thought that
C.
without any selecting a copy and.
Yes. There are some shortcuts for a special kinds of copying, and we'll see that. So that is enough for now. We have
name and price.
Asked for the name and the price. So let's run the application. It will ask for the shop name, shop1, for example. It will ask for the product name, Apple, for example, and for example, $1,000 as the price, and the application will end. So let's assume that we have 2 or 3 or 4 products.
More than one product.
More than one product. So in order to get the user to define the products, we have to define, as you've guessed, 10. If we have 5 products in the shop, we have to define product name 1, product price 1,
up to 5. Product
name 2, product price 2. Yes. So I copy these lines. These lines is for entering product name and price. I paste it here, and as you see, it is complaining that the declarations are conflicting, and the name product,
because they have the same name.
Yes, the name product name is defined here, and the product price is defined also here, and you cannot define a value or variable more than once
with the same name.
With the same name. You could actually change the value if it is a var variable, and in this case it is a val, and you cannot change the value, but you cannot define it. This is the definition. The keyword val or var defines the variable or value. So I change the values to, this is the product name 1, product 1 name, product 1 price, product 2 name, product 2 price, and it won't complain anymore. And I copy it once more for the 3rd product, and as you see, so we ask for the shop name for the 1st product, for the 2nd product, and for the 3rd product. And so if I run the program, as you've guessed, it's obviously will ask sequentially for this information. But there is something off about this program. What is wrong with this program?
I think if you have 100 or 1,000 products, we have to 100 times copy the
Yes.
the code and
Yes. We don't know the number of the products the shop will have in advance, and we cannot define this information in values or variables. For example, with 1, 2, 3 suffixes. There must be a mechanism to store the products, the information dynamically, For example, there must be a way to decide in the app if we want to have 10 or 1,000 products. So for that,
it's better to ask the person how many products do you have, huh?
Yes, we can ask.
That's false.
Yes, we can ask him, the user, to enter the number of the products. So this is not a good idea to copy and paste these lines. So I want to introduce another structure here. You may have heard about arrays. I don't want to talk about arrays. I want to talk about lists. There is a sort of there is list in every language, programming languages. For example, in Kotlin, we can define a list of things. A list of strings, for example, is a list of integers, a list of booleans, a list of the things that values, types that we had before. So for product names, I'm going to define a list of strings. So I define product names, and I define a mutable list of string. So I think this is
totally
new for you.
That doesn't make sense. 0%. Makes sense 0%. Mutable list.
Mutable list.
Before that, I have heard about the list.
Yes.
If you want to add items in a list, that's exactly like a list.
Yes.
What does it mean?
In Java, my friend here has a Java background. In Java, all he had to do for creating a list of items was to create an object.
List.
You may not know about the objects and classes here, and we will elaborate on that a lot. So he used to create an object from the array list class, and
if you want to make it list, check it. I don't want to compare these two.
And you could do the
same.
On
the left side, I write list.
List?
And
no.
I write list and then.
No, we don't want to go deep in the polymorphism or the other aspects of object-oriented programming. It will make sense a lot later.
Okay.
So this is the way that we here in Kotlin have access to all of the things that you know from Java, all of the things. So as you see, we have created an array list class object without the new keyword. The new keyword is not necessary here.
It means new.
Yes. We are calling the constructor function of the array list class.
Really?
And we could go ahead and add to the product names, add a new element. For example, apple, orange, peach, and so forth. So this is an infinite list that you can add as many as you like. But I don't want to use the array list here. We have instantiated an object from the array list class, and I don't want to use this mechanism here. I want to use mutable list. Mutable list in Kotlin is a kind of list. It is mutable list of strings. You know, as you see, it has inferred the type. It's a mutable list. In Kotlin, lists are separated into two categories: mutable and immutable. Mutables are those which you can add things, you can remove things, you can modify them. The immutable ones,
manipulation is easy.
yes. The immutable ones are, as their name implies, you cannot do any modification. You cannot remove, you cannot add, you just only can iterate and read and get and those kind of things.
You cannot add?
No, you cannot add.
So what's that?
What's the
that
purpose?
Init. It is empty then?
No. You
add
have instantiated and you have added your items in the instantiation time. There are times when you don't want the user, you don't want to let the user to modify something, modify the list that you have. You will see.
Add means at the first time when we make it, we can add some items.
Yes.
Like this.
If we are not able to add at the start, so what is the purpose of it?
I mean like this, huh?
No.
Exactly like this we can add.
No. So let's see the immutable one. The list of function. The list of function creates a list of a string. The list without the mutable prefix is immutable one. This immutable list, as you can see, does not have the add function. It is complaining that there is no, on a result reference, there is no add function. If we press control space, you will see that we have get, for example, asking for indexes, or we don't have remove, or we have search. We don't have any means of modification here, modifying. All we have is...
So how we can add the items?
Adding items is only possible at the beginning. Here.
Okay. Like array.
Yes. Apple, orange.
Okay.
And
the size is fixed, everything is fixed.
Yes. But we should use mutable list here because we are going to ask the user for the count of the items, and we don't know in advance how many items he or she will have. So we create a list for product names, and also we create a list for product prices. Yes, product prices. So for example, the first item of the product names will have the first product's name, and the first item of the product prices will have the price of the first product. So we ask for the product name, we get a result, and instead of adding this, assigning or saving the
readline,
enter the product name to a new value, we'll add this to the list. Yes, we'll add to the product. No, let's first assign it to this value, and then I will add to the product names. Product names dot add this product name. I want to add the product name to the product names. It is complaining because yes. There is some sort of mechanism inside Kotlin named null safety, and you have not seen it in the Java. In Java, you can assign null to anything, but here you have to declare a type as nullable to assign a null. This says that readline may return a string or a null, but the add function expects us to only enter a string, but it may be null, and it cannot tolerate that. It wants to prevent us in this step. So
what should we do?
In order to tell the Kotlin to shut up for the moment, we go ahead and use this bang or exclamation mark twice, and we say that I surely know that the user will enter something, and this will not be null. This will be a string. And as you can see, it inferred it as a string, not a string question mark. When it was the read line itself, it infers that it is string question mark. It may be string, it may be a null. But when I tell it that I'm sure, it will accept and it will infer the string. We will talk more about the null safety mechanism. It has many aspects to it. And so let's continue. So we get the product name, we add to the product names. We get the product price. We again tell it that we are sure that there will be something, yes, return. And we add it to the product prices. Product prices dot add product price. So let's run the let's enter the entered names and the values for the moment. Product names and product prices. We run the program, it asks for the shop name, we name it shop. The enter product name, we enter Apple. Enter product price, we enter 1,000. And it prints a list that it has only one item, and it is Apple. And again, it prints the product prices list
in the braces.
Yes. These are not braces, just these are brackets.
Brackets, sorry.
Yes. Brackets
Yes.
Okay. are the notion of list. Yes. Are the notion of list. So we have not solved the problem of indefinite number of products. We don't know the number of products in advance, and there must be some sort of loops here, or there must be some sort of jump mechanism. We like to, for example, after entering the product name and product price, we want to ask the user, do you want to enter to define another product? And we tell it to enter yes or no. If he or she enters yes, we want to jump here again and
you can ask those two questions.
Yes, ask those two questions one more time and add another product name to the product names and product price to the product prices.
And if he says no, they will print.
Yes. So in order to provide this mechanism, there are some sort of special structures named loops, and we are going to use the simplest one, the do-while loop here. The do-while loop is the simplest form of a loop in the Kotlin language, and we want these lines, these 6 lines, to be executed over and over and over until the user tells that he just don't want. So we cut these lines and we paste it inside this loop because we want these lines to be executed more than once. And we say do these lines while
the user said no.
Yes, the user enters no. So after asking for the confirmation of the user,
we have to read line, yes?
Yes, we have to define a value and
answer.
For example, answer equals read line, and then we inside while we say that do these 8 lines of code until the answer does not equal no string. So
Automatically it's changed to
Yes,
this.
it's because of the font of the IDE. It's Fira. It's named Fira.
That's because of
The font of this IDE.
That's not related to
No,
Kotlin.
no. In Kotlin, in order to compare two things, you should use two. I press space in order to not let
Exclamation mark.
Yes, two sequential equal signs means that you are comparing.
Are they equal?
Are they
equal or
equal? Yes,
not?
yes. For example,
The answer is yes or no.
for example, is 2 equal to 3?
Is it not important number or
No.
a word or I don't know?
No. And if you want to check for not equality, you have to enter exclamation mark and equal sign. But there must be
Without any space.
entered, yes, without any space. And when you don't enter any space in the IntelliJ idea with the font Fira, it gives you that good looking shape that may,
That makes sense.
yeah, that may deceive you that it is another special sign with the line, with the cross line over it. No, it is exclamation mark and equal sign written sequential. So you're basically saying here that do these lines until the answer not equals no. So let's run this program. Shift F10. It asks for the shop name. I enter shop, product Apple, and I enter 1000. As you see, it is asking me, it is here now, it is in line 28, and asking me if I want to continue or no. I press yes, I want to continue, and it again asks for enter product name. It jumps here to the line 19, and I enter, for example, orange, and it adds the orange to the product names, and it waits. It prints the enter product price, line 23 here. It waits in here, line 24. I enter, for example, and it again asks for, do you want to define another product? Line 28. I go ahead and say yes to define another one, for example, a peach for 800. And this time I'm going to say no. I don't want to define or add another product. And if I enter no, this will now jump out of this loop, and this will continue the program from line 38, and it will print the product names list and then the product prices list. As you can see, the list has stored our product names along the way. We have entered apple, then orange, and then peach, and it has stored them to the list in order that we have entered them. And so this 1000 belongs to apple, this one belongs to orange, and this one belongs to peach. So with the aid of mutable lists and this loop, we were able to store the product names, products. Yes. Now the user can enter as many as products he likes.
10 times, 100
10,
times.
yes, tens and hundreds and thousands, and no matter what. So with that, don't you have any question?
No, that's okay.
With that, I want to finish the session. And next session, we will define the shopping carts and customers.
Shopping what?
Shopping carts.
Carts, okay.
Yes, for adding items and storing the things that customers buy each and every day. So you don't have any questions?
No, that's okay.
No.
Goodbye, guys.
All right.
Take care.
See you next time.
Follow us.